this could be the worst mistake I've made in one of these challenges. Hey everybody, it's Molly and I'm here today with a brand new video and a brand new challenge. Today we are doing the Genie Challenge at Disney's Animal Kingdom. So I will be using all of the lightning lanes across the entire park for both the fancy rides and the Genie Plus attractions, see how fast I can get through them all. We'll share tips and tricks on how to use this product in this park. Do you need to use this product in this park? I hope you're ready to find out. It's gonna be wild. Why do I do that every time? I am here just a few minutes after park opening and I've already got my first Genie Plus lightning lane and my first fancy ride lightning lane booked, and they're in the same land, and I bet you can guess where we're going. As we walk over to Pandora, the world of Avatar, let's talk a little bit do a quick Genie 101. Disney Genie is the new Disney planning service that rolled out a few weeks ago. There are 3 different levels of Disney Genie. There is Disney Genie, which is a completely free service. It provides you a really awesome tip board on the app. You can also do customizable itineraries. There is Genie Plus, which is essentially the replacement of FastPass Plus. It's $15 per day per person. It works on over 40 attractions across the 4 parks, but you cannot ride the same attraction more than once. And last but not least, there are, as I call them, fancy rides, TM, because Disney calls them individual lightning lane a la carte paid attraction selections, and I don't want to say that every time. Fancy rides are attractions not included in Genie Plus. There's 2 in each park, and they are an additional cost per person. Each person can book 2 of those per day, not per park. Another word you're going to hear me say a lot today is lightning lane. Lightning lane is very confusing because it doesn't have anything to do with any of the other words I just said, but a lightning lane is just a physical place. So both fancy rides and Genie Plus rides have lightning lanes, and of course they all have standby lanes as well. The way Genie Plus works, you can purchase it in advance for the length of your ticket, or you can purchase it starting at midnight day of if you just want it for one day or certain parks. I think what we're going to find out in this video is that you probably don't need to purchase it at Animal Kingdom. I'll let you know what the standby waits are throughout the day. But it seems like this park doesn't get as long of lines as parks like Hollywood Studios and Magic Kingdom. So this may be a park that on a regular day, you don't actually need to purchase Genie Plus to avoid long lines. You can book your first Genie Plus selection at 7 a.m. that day, and then you can continue to book them throughout the day, and you can use as many as you'd like in one day. So we are going to go to the first Genie Plus attraction. I knew I wanted to come this way to start, and the first Genie Plus attraction we're going to go to is probably the hardest one to book in this park. There's not any that are that hard to book, but this one does tend to go the farthest out, and I wanted to get it out of the way. So we're going to start the day with a little Navi River journey. Hello. Oh, that's a fancy noise. Navi River Journey is the family ride here in Pandora, the world of Avatar. It is a boat ride through the bioluminescent forest, and the main reason people like it is for the one Shaman of Song animatronic. It had a 15-minute posted wait. I think this attraction is beautiful, and I think it's worth doing for the Shaman of Song, but I don't think it's worth a long line. So you can usually ride it in the mornings or in the afternoon without too long of a line. So keep an eye on it if you're not paying for Genie Plus, because it's a fun attraction, but it's not worth more than 45 minutes or so to most people. Hello. Thank you. So now that I've tapped in at my second tap, I'm able to actually book another Genie Plus attraction, because as soon as you tap in, you can get another one. So let's do it. done, walked right on. I do think that's a cute attraction. I think the shaman is amazing. It's a beautiful attraction. It will get a longer line, but truly don't wait in a long line for it. It will drop. If you get Genie Plus for this park or you're hopping out of this park, it's a great one to use it on because it does get that longer line. But another one that gets a long line is right next door. Flight of Passage. This is definitely the most popular ride in this park. It's got a posted 60-minute wait right now, but this is our first of the 2 fancy rides here at Animal Kingdom. So as I said, fancy rides are a la carte attractions that you pay separately. They're not included in Genie Plus, and you can pay for them separately. The cost of the fancy rides varies by attraction, and it can also vary by day or time of year, just like date-based tickets. So a weekend will be more expensive, Christmas will be more expensive than a random weekday in the middle of January. Today, the cost of Avatar Flight of Passage is $11, so I've already paid that. With the fancy rides, you can book them at 7 a.m. if you are a resort guest. If you're not a resort guest, you can book them when the park opens. The park officially opened at 8 a.m. today, so as I was walking in, I booked Flight of Passage at 8:15, knowing I would also be doing Navi River Journey at this time. For the record, Flight of Passage does not appear to be like Rise of the Resistance, where it will sell out in mere hours of the day. Flight of Passage, as of right now, it's 8:45, and I could buy one for $9.20. So, unlike the Genie Plus attractions, though, the fancy rides are select whatever time works for your party, but then you're locked in. You can't modify it, you can't cancel it, you can't change it. So make sure when you select a time that is a time you're really going to be able to ride that attraction. Also, let's talk about the Genie Plus and how that system works. The Genie Plus next availables, you do not get to select what time you would like to book. It's just whatever's next available. Think old paper fast pass. Put your mindset back. Take yourself back a decade or so. And remember how when you'd go to a kiosk and it would say, now distributing, 10 to 11 a.m. And you'd stick your ticket in and it would spit out a paper fast pass, and that was that. The same thing with Genie Plus. It's just a digital tip board. So when you're booking first available, that's what it is. However, with Genie Plus, you can fiddle faddle a little bit. You can pull down and refresh the tip board and new times might pop up. So while I was waiting to board Navi River Journey, the closest Safaris, which is my next stop, was 9:40, but I pulled down and refreshed it a few times and was able to book 8:45 to 9:45. So put your mindset of the first available, like old paper fast pass, but no, you can refresh the screen and new times might pop up. Whoa, we are bypassing a lot of the queue. I think we're gonna bypass the science lab and the bioluminescent forest, which are very cool parts of the queue. I don't know if they're worth waiting an hour or 70 minutes or whatever this attraction is normally at, but it does look like we're gonna miss a lot of cool things. Look, there's the science lab. So we're skipping all of it and going straight to the link chambers. Thank you.
You're welcome. Enjoy 7th lane 4.
Sure.
Coming.
And now we're just waiting like everybody else to do that linking. Avatar Flight of Passage is definitely the most popular attraction in this park. It is obviously based on the film Avatar, but even if you don't care about the movie Avatar, like most people, it's still an awesome attraction. It is a 3D simulator that puts you on the back of a Banshee and has you fly around the Valley of Moara. It's a very relaxing and pretty ride, but it does have some thrill to it. Think of it as Soarin' kicked up a notch. It does have a 44-inch height requirement. And it has an unusual seat because it's like a motorcycle, so there is a test seat out front if you want to test it out to make sure you'll be comfortable in it. I would definitely recommend doing that. And the cast member did that thing where they're like, anybody alone? Is anyone a single rider? Does anyone come here by themselves?
Once you found your
come
number,
on up!
Please make sure
and now I
everybody can
get to
see
come
the
on up,
screen.
so.
Let's start the decon.
Initiating GMR decon.
Stand still over your number. You're not going to feel a thing. You're doing great.
No math. Oh, she's beautiful. Oh,
Right.
I left.
You've all been matched with avatars.
step off the link chair, gather your belongings, and exit the link chamber.
Flight of passage done. I waited about 3 minutes to get pulled from the line to get into the first pre-show. It was posted 60-minute wait right now. Didn't look quite that long. This is one that I definitely recommend rope dropping, especially if you are coming as a resort guest for the early park entry. You should be able to knock this one out pretty easily without too long of a line. I also recommend doing this one in the evening. A lot of people sleep on Animal Kingdom in the evening. They come here in the morning and then park hop. But if you come here in the evening, one, you can see the beacon of the tree, and two, this right before park close can usually get on really easily. So, and then even yesterday in the mid-afternoon, it was like a 20-minute wait. So you don't need Lightning Lane for this one. I would say maybe if you're coming during a super busy time, like during the holidays, it will get very long, and you may want to consider paying. But it was $11, which is more than ready. So, you know. Wingapo Pocahontas. Hi, Miko. I wanted to kind of just move in a circle around this park. That was one thing I got a lot of questions about, is if you had to run back and forth, and so I'm trying to move in as much of a consistent pattern as possible today. So Safaris is my next stop. Thank you. Kilimanjaro Safaris is one of my favorite attractions in all of Walt Disney World. It is the flagship attraction of this park. No height requirement, but this is that one where you actually get on a big safari truck and go out on a 22 or so minute safari on the Harambe Wildlife Reserve, and you'll see real life elephants and giraffes and lions and zebras and rhinoceroses and all kinds of things. I recommend rope dropping this one for the most part, because it will get a very long line throughout the day, especially on busy days. But it also, the star of the show obviously is the animals, and the animals are more active when it's cooler outside. So the earlier you go, you're likely to get a more active safari, especially when it comes to animals like the lions. This has definitely been a walk-on as far as Lightning Lane goes. There's only a 10-minute posted wait though, so I don't think it was too long for the standby either. Kilimanjaro Safari is a must-do in Disney's Animal Kingdom. Saw lots of babies today. Baby giraffe, baby rhino, baby zebra. So great safari. And now it took a little longer than normal. It was like going slow. After I tapped in, I booked the animation experience up at Rafiki's Planet Watch. And I'm dashing to get there now, even though this may be a terrible idea, because I gotta wait for the train, then get all the way up there, and then get all the way to the animation class. So I don't know if I'm gonna make it, but I'm really gonna try. This could be the worst mistake I've made in one of these challenges. So Rafiki's Planet Watch is a land a lot of people don't even go to, because you have to get there by train. It's the only way to get there. So the animation class starts in not very long minutes, and I have to ride a train all the way up there, and then also get to the class, which is kind of like a little bit of a walk. So this is gonna be snug, and if I miss it, I'm gonna be trapped up there, and I'm gonna have to wait for the next class probably. So fingers crossed. However, so far it looks like timing's on my side. It looks like they just opened the gates to board the train, so I couldn't have picked a better time to walk up, so maybe this will work out. Well, all right, I made it on the train. I've got mere moments to get to my class, but I think I can do it. Fingers crossed. It's a little bit of a walk to get over to the animation class from here. It's a couple minute walk. I definitely don't recommend cutting it as close as I'm doing right now. I recommend giving yourself, if your animation class starts at 10, I recommend giving yourself, 30 minutes to make sure you get the train, get up here, take this walk, especially if you've got kids or strollers, but we are playing a dicey game. So up here at Rafiki's Planet Watch, there's not only the animation class where a Disney artist is going to teach you how to draw a famous Disney animal, there is also a petting zoo called the Affection Section. There are some animal exhibits. You may see the animal staff working on an animal at the vet procedure window. Hello! There are several different wilderness explorer stations up here if you're playing that free game around the park. So I love Rafiki's Planet Watch. I think it's a very underrated land. I don't think it needs to be a must-do for most people. If you have only a few hours in the Animal Kingdom or half a day or something. But if you're coming for a whole day, I think it's a lot of fun.
There you go, come on in.
Thank you!
Paper, pencil, down.
Thank you, we made it, yes! I drew TikTok Croc. Not well, but I did it. I think the animation experience is really fun and an underrated treat at the Animal Kingdom. Some of you may remember doing this over at Hollywood Studios, but it's a nice, relaxing 25-minute or so experience. And the idea is that Walt Disney and his original animators used to bring in live animals, and they still to this day use the animals here to make animals for things such as the live-action Lion King. They actually projection mapped the lions and the crocodiles and the hyenas and all the animals on the safari to make the live-action Lion King. So it's pretty neat. I think it's fun. I don't know if it's a must-do for most people. I do think this is a good use of a Genie Plus if you're already going to purchase it, because the class has such a limited size. It's nice to be able to reserve yourself a spot and be able to walk up just a few minutes before the class and know you've got a spot in there. However, on not very busy days, you don't really need it, as you saw. So I definitely don't recommend doing what I did, which was running up at the last minute. Give yourself ample time to get up here, to get off the train, to get to the class. And of course, especially if you're not using Genie Plus, you want to make sure you're in line, because again, there's a limited number of people. But I think it's fun. It rotates which animal you draw. I was happy to draw TikTok, but one of these days I'll hopefully finally get to draw Bruce the shark. Now, I don't have time today since we're doing a challenge, but if you come all the way up here to Rafiki's Planet Watch to do the animation class, I certainly recommend also going to the Affection Section, where you can pet the goats and the sheep and other animals, and it's really fun. What I would have actually recommended if you were in my situation where the 10 o'clock drawing class, the 9:40 to 9:55 window for Genie Plus was cutting it close, I would have canceled it and changed it to the next animation class, because the next window opened up at 10:25. And so then I would have come up here at the same time, enjoyed the exhibits and enjoyed the animals, and then leisurely been able to go into the class as opposed to rushing as fast as I could. So that is one thing I don't love about the new Genie Plus, is that if you would like to change your booking, if something like that happens where you're running late, or the attraction doesn't have a long line, you don't want to use Genie Plus on it or something, you can't just modify it to the next available at that time again. You have to cancel it and rebook it. So that's one thing I don't love about the system, but just so you know. Good timing once again, and I walked right up when they were boarding the train. It is starting to rain, which is why I've transformed into my rain outfit, and it's starting to rain a lot. So I booked It's Tough to Be a Bug next because I want to do the 11 o'clock festival of the Lion King, and I feel like I can squeeze in the It's Tough to Be a Bug before that. But maybe I'll just go do Cali River Rapids right now and get it over with, considering I'm clearly going to get wet anyway.
Right now, but if it's too light,
I'm going to keep with my original plan and dart over to It's Tough to Be a Bug. The next Festival of the Lion King and the next Feathered Funds in Flight, the bird show, is at 11:30, which means the windows open at 11. So I'm hoping to get It's Tough to Be a Bug tapped in the next 15 minutes or so, so that I can then book one of the shows. I talked about this in the Hollywood Studios version of this video, but the shows are more difficult to schedule and plan than the rides are, because the rides can have hundreds of different times to come back. 10:10, 10:05, 10:10, 10:15, etc. Whereas the shows, there's only a set number of each show a day, and therefore a set number of return windows. So for example, the Feathered Friends in Flights, the bird show, only has 5 of the show all day. So I only have 5 chances to see it, only 5 chances to book that return window. So if you want to use your Genie Plus and your lightning lanes at the shows, it requires a little more planning. I wouldn't say you necessarily need it at every show, but Festival of the Lion King is incredibly popular. It gets very long lines, especially in busy season. So that's one you're going to want to plan for if you're using Genie Plus, in my opinion. Hello.
Hello, ma'am. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hello, welcome.
It's Tough to Be a Bug is a 3D show featuring the characters from A Bug's Life, and it is all about bugs, obviously. The coolest part of the attraction is right now, though, it's the queue. You weave in and out of the roots of the Tree of Life. The show itself is actually pretty startling if you're a little kid or a Morgan. There are large spiders, there's a huge hopper animatronic, things poke you in the back, smells. It's a 4D adventure, so just let you know, I've never been to the show and not had kids screaming at some point. But it's a good thing to do at a time like this when it started raining. It's a great filler attraction, and again, I love the queue because you get to walk through the Tree of Life. And the theater itself is in the Tree of Life. Like, does it get cooler? It's tough to be a bug. I always think it's cute. It's not raining anymore by the time I got out, so it's a good filler show. Definitely not one you need to probably prioritize, and definitely not one you need a lightning lane for. It usually has a 10-minute wait, which is just waiting for the next show. I am now headed to Festival of the Lion King. After I tapped in on It's Tough to Be a Bug, I had a choice of booking the 11 o'clock return window for Feathered Friends in Flight or Festival of the Lion King, but Festival of the Lion King was the safer bet with the weather because the Feathered Friends in Flight bird show can get canceled for inclement weather. So I now have between 11 and 11:20 to get back over to Festival of the Lion King, which I'm very excited about because it's my favorite thing. But that also means we got about 15 minutes, so it's hot coffee season. It lasts for one day in Florida because it's raining and I'm cold from being wet, but I can still have hot coffee today. It's a song I wrote just now about my hot coffee. Here's the thing. I didn't lie to you, but I did change my mind. I know I had booked Festival of the Lion King, but here's the thing. It's still kind of spitting, and I'm afraid of 2 things. One is riding Cali River Rapids, and 2 is that Cali River Rapids and Expedition Everest, the 2 outdoor attractions I have left, will close because of the rain, and then I won't be able to complete this challenge. So I figured I should take advantage of the fact that they're still open and that I have on my Cali River Rapids outfit anyway, and I'm gonna go knock those out since I'm very confident I can see one of the later Festival of the Lion King shows. Plus, maybe I'll end on Festival of the Lion King, which it's my favorite thing in this park, so that'd be like a nice way to end the day. I also want to talk about backtracking a little bit. I am going to end up backtracking solely because I'm trying to use all of these lightning lane passes as a fun video and challenge, but if you are not doing that, which I know 99.9% of people are not, you could just go to things like Feathered Friends in Flight. That's the next of the bird shows, so you could just go in there. And I know you're thinking, Molly, just make a lightning lane right now for it. Unfortunately, the minute that the lightning lane window is passed, it's unavailable to book in the app. So for example, this was available to book from 11 to 11:20, I believe, for the 11:30 show, but at 11:01 you can no longer book it. So that's another reason that shows are a little bit more difficult, and you got to plan a little bit more for them. So yes, if you were just a normal guest, I would say just walk into the show, but we're gonna go do Cali River Rapids instead, which I canceled my Festival of the Lion King and rebooked for right now. Oh, trying to find a lightning lane around the corner. Thank you. Very confused. I had my whole thing set up. I've been doing phone video of me walking into the lightning lanes and camera video when I tap, so I can share it on both social media and have it for the video. And like, this just threw me off. but that's fine. So Cali River Rapids is a water ride. It is literally my least favorite attraction in Walt Disney World because I do not like getting wet on attractions. It is not fun to me to walk around with wet pants. And this attraction, IMO, is too short and not thrilling enough to compensate for how wet you could possibly get. On other water rides like Jurassic Park River Adventure at Universal or even Splash Mountain, I have fun, so the wet to fun ratio is correct. But on this one, the wet to fun ratio is very incorrect. You could get very, very wet, and I don't think it's that fun. There's not a big drop like you think there's gonna be, and you could get soaking wet. So, not my jam. But it's got a 35-inch height requirement. I find kids like this. Kids like being wet. I don't want to be wet. I don't want to walk around with wet pants, wet underpants. That's not fun. That's a recipe for chafing. No one wants that. Anyway, let's go to ride this, I guess. Hello.
All right, you're all set.
Thank you. The other thing I don't love about this attraction is like the theming in this park is so good and the theming in this queue is amazing. But the messaging of conservation and logging is not as strong as it once was. Am I making that up? Like, didn't there used to be more dramatic things on the attraction? Like, wasn't there a tiger? Am I having a fever dream? Someone confirm this or tell me I'm having a fever dream of the past. Because I feel like there's like a very strong anti-logging message in this ride, but I do think it gets a little lost. All right, there we go. We're tapped in. We're doing it. For some reason, we're doing it. I know the reason. The challenge, the fun. It's just not for me. If this is your favorite ride, I'm happy for you. And I wish you short wait times every time you want to ride this. Which, by the way, except for on like really hot days and really, really busy days, you can usually, get on this one without too long of a wait as well. It has a posted 5-minute wait right now, so. Here's the other thing. This used to be, right?
Yeah,
Tell me if I'm crazy. This used to be a thing that you could put your stuff in and it had a waterproof cover, but it's not anymore. So like now, what do I do with my bag? I don't want to hold it in my lap because what if it falls out? I don't want to put it on the floor because it's wet. See, this ride is logistically confusing. Dear Cali gods, please be nice to me today and don't make me wet. Thank you. Did not hear my prayer, or maybe they did and they also heard me say it's my least favorite ride in Walt Disney World and they were like, okay, but I got soaking wet, and that's part of the reason I don't like that ride, because you don't know who's gonna get wet. Some people are like, it's by weight. No, it's not. There were 7 people, a family across from me all together, and me on just my side, and I'm still the one who got hit by the waterfall. Furious. Anyway, that ride exists. If you want to do it, fine. Just kidding, I guess it's nice. From my least favorite attraction in Walt Disney World to one of my all-time favorites. Expedition Everest Legend of the Forbidden Mountain TM is that roller coaster up into the Forbidden Mountain where you will come face to face with the Yeti. Now, this attraction is a fancy ride TM, so it is not included in Genie Plus. And this is one that I haven't booked until right now when I was walking over here, and I booked one at 11:53 for 11:55. So that tells you how popular the lightning lane is here. Also, it has a 10-minute standby wait. So I think, you know what I'm about to say, this is a fancy ride not worth purchasing on most days. And because it doesn't sell out, you can make your final decision when you get to the park. This is not like Rise of the Resistance, where you need to make a decision quick because it's going to sell out. If you get to the park and it's busy and it's got a 45-minute line or an hour line, which really only happens on super busy days, then you can buy it. But on an average day, it does not get higher than 20-25 minutes for most of the day. So, and also a single rider. Let's go do what I would consider to be probably the biggest waste of dollars, which is spending money on the Expedition Everest lightning lane. Now, the story of Expedition Everest is that you are on a journey. You are going to go up to the mountain. You are booking a trip with the Himalayan Escapes Company. And when you go through the former Fast Pass, now lightning lane, you've already bought your ticket, so you don't need to go through the booking office. You just come here, you get your equipment, and then you're ready to go. If you go through the standby line, you will go through the booking office because you didn't book already. So there is some great theming, some great Imagineering on this attraction. It's one of the most themed attractions in Walt Disney World, on par, in my opinion, with Tower of Terror. And I absolutely adore this attraction. So please don't take me saying this is a waste of money as you shouldn't ride this. My point is, I'm walking on this attraction, so are the people in standby. Love Expedition Everest. It made up for Cali River Rapids. No, seriously, I love Expedition Everest. It's one of my favorite rides in all of Walt Disney World. Do I think you should spend $7 on it per person when you could have walked up and waited 5 extra minutes maybe to walk through the longer queue? No. That's one I definitely don't think will be worth the money, except maybe again on a super duper busy day, then maybe. But there's still a single rider line, which will split your family up, but you know, not a long line usually, and it doesn't normally get that long a line, so I'm thinking that's going to be a no for the lightning lane for me. So we only have 3 things left. It is about noon, and we're kind of at an impasse because we got 2 shows left, and as I was talking about before, shows are the hardest things to schedule because there's only a set time of them. So there is a 1:30 of Feathered Friends in Flight and a 2 o'clock of Festival of the Lion King. Those are the next available ones to book. There is a 12:30 of Festival of the Lion King, but since it's after 12 right now, the booking window has already started, so therefore it's not bookable. So, I also remember I said I was going to try and go in order of the park and not crisscross my way back and forth. So I almost booked Festival of the Lion King at noon when it was still open, and then I was like, no, don't run across the park. Just go ride Dinosaur. So I booked Dinosaur for 12:10, which is in 3 minutes. And then I'm going to book, my plan anyway, is to book the 1:30 Feathered Friends in Flight show and the 2 o'clock Festival of the Lion King. And then I'll have completed the challenge. So it's been a very nice day, despite the rain trying to ruin it. Dinosaur. Sorry, that's the wrong Dinosaur franchise. Dinosaur, without a southern accent like Mr. DNA. Dinosaur is one of my favorite rides at this park, and probably one of my favorite rides in all of Walt Disney World as well. It is an attraction that puts you in a Jeep and sends you back in time to the age of the dinosaurs, where you'll come face to face with some friendly and not so friendly dinosaurs on a quest to save this guy right in front of us, the Iguanodon. It has a 40-inch height requirement, which is lower than Everest, but don't let that fool you. It is loud, it is dark, it is bumpy, and there are big dinosaurs. So not all children, or adults for that matter, love this attraction. But I do. It has a 5-minute standby line. Lightning lane, probably useful here maybe during the really busy seasons. It'll get up, to 45 minutes, an hour tops. But for the most part, it stays pretty low, and you don't need to use Genie Plus here either.
Welcome in.
Thank you. Let's go see Dr. Grant Seeker. Wow, look how much time we're saving.
Hello there.
I actually think this is one of my hottest Disney takes. I like this ride more than Flight of Passage, cue gasp sound effect. But I like rides that physically move you through a set with big animatronics more than simulators. And even though Flight of Passage is probably the best simulator of all time, I still like my big dinos running at me. So I know that's a hot take, but if I'm not alone, let me know in the comments.
Restaurantosaurus.
Not our dino.
Carnotaurus.
Definitely not our dino. Get them out now!
Asteroid impact.
Brace yourself! They're not gonna make it! They're not gonna make it!
Mission accomplished.
I got my own car. It really was just me and Dr. Seeker out there, just saving dinosaurs and stuff. So that was fun. I love that ride. Dinosaur for me is a fabulous attraction, and it's almost underrated at this point because everyone always thinks about Everest and Flight of Passage as the thrill rides here. But tell you what, there's no bigger thrill than that Carnotaurus charging at you. Also, I think I got a really good ride photo because I was alone. So now I have a little bit of time to kill. I went ahead after I scanned in at Dinosaur and booked the next showing of Feathered Friends in Flight because there is a 1:30 show, which means the window opens at 1, the return time window. So that's in about half an hour. So I also went to the dining tip board, which is one of my favorite features of this new update. It is a tip board for dining, as it would sound like, but it shows you all of the quick service and full service restaurants in the park. It shows you if there's any walk-up availability, if there's any reservations, what the next mobile order window is, if it's quick service. Now, one thing, it does glitch sometimes. Remember, this is a brand new app, so it's still working out technical difficulties, and it said no return times available for any of the quick service restaurants. That's not true. Just click into the one you want, and you should be able to see some return times. So if it says that, never fear, or just refresh the page. But I put in an order for some lunch at Restaurantosaurus. I'm going to try one of the 50th meals that's special here and take a little breather. My order is ready and headed in. I love Restaurantosaurus for its theming. Actually, all of Dinoland USA has a great theme about the Dino Institute, and the college interns live here, but they don't have any money, so they sell food out of the bottom of their house, but they all live up here, which is why there's like chaos everywhere. There's a whole backstory at this whole land that not a lot of people realize. I did a whole Trapped here though, so we can link that for you. Restaurantosaurus is kind of your standard theme park food restaurant at this park. It is burgers and chili cheese dogs and chicken nuggets, but I'm, again, like I said, gonna try something from the 50th anniversary menu. Here is my lunch. It's called the Waltz Main Street Fried Chicken Sandwich. So it's a fried chicken breast on a brioche bun with pickles, lettuce, tomato, and a roasted garlic aioli. Comes with fries, obviously. I'm hoping it tastes like a delicious Chick-fil-A sandwich, and I'm loving the sound of a garlic aioli, so color me curious. Friendly reminder, the topping bars aren't back at places like this, but you can customize things in the app. It's got pickles, lettuce, tomato on it, but you can say no pickles, no lettuce, whatever. So just a reminder of that as well. It's actually pretty good. I like the garlic aioli. I like the crunch and the zest from the pickle. The chicken breast is nice. I actually like this more than the burgers here. I'm on record saying I don't love Disney's standard quick service burger. It's pretty good. It's just a fried chicken sandwich. Love that aioli. I personally would rather get this than a burger here, because if you're in this park and want a quick service burger, go get the Kobe beef one from the Yakinetti quick service or my beloved cheeseburger pods. But this is pretty good. Nothing crazy flavor wise. I got some hot sauce I'm going to put on there now and be good to go. Finished with lunch at Restaurantosaurus. Still not my number one spot here, but if you've got pickier eaters, it's a great choice, and I do love that theming. I've got about 5 minutes left in my window for the Feathered Friends in Flight. Those are 15-minute return windows. And then I will be immediately booking the Festival of the Lion King for the 2 o'clock show. So I am gonna have to move quick to get from Feathered Friends in Flight, a 1:30 show, to Festival of the Lion King to tap in before my window closes, because they're strict over at Festival of the Lion King. Feathered Friends in Flight is one of the many iterations of the bird show here. It was called Flights of Wonder, and then it was Up, A Great Bird Adventure, and it featured the Up characters. Now it's a little bit more like Flights of Wonder, where it doesn't feature any characters, and it's called Feathered Friends in Flight. So it's an educational show about birds. I don't love birds, but I do like learning. So I think it's pretty fun. Probably not a must-do for a lot of people, but it's a great way to sit down and learn about some animals. So I do want to note there's some reserved seating up closer for lightning lanes. The cast member said that won't be available every day, but today it is, since it's slow. I, however, am still opting to sit towards the back because, as I just mentioned, I'm trying to scoot over quickly to the 2 o'clock Festival of the Lion King, and we're going to be cutting it close.
I think that means yes. Scott, are you ready?
Oh yeah.
Daisy, are you ready? Oh yeah. I'm sorry, Daisy, are you ready? Oh yeah. Okay, that's what I thought happened. Okay, countdown for liftoff in 3, 2, 1.
Feathered Friends in Flight. It's fine. It's fun. I like it. I don't even like birds, but I like watching them do cool tricks. And so I don't think you're going to need to use a Genie Plus, though. People are walking in left and right. The only thing about Genie Plus is you might get a better seat there. Also, update. I went to book Festival of the Lion King, and it only had a 20-minute return window, so it would end at 1:50. And the bird show is like 25 to 30 minutes, depending on the birds. So you do the math. So now I've got a little bit of time to kill before the 3 o'clock Festival of the Lion King, which is when I once again remind you that for these type of videos, I'm just doing these certain attractions. But you're going to have downtime between your Genie Pluses, whether it be because you're waiting for one that's farther away, and you've triggered that cooldown period because the 120-minute rule, which I explain in depth in the Hollywood Studios video, or because you've got a show you're waiting on like I am. So this is a great time to, get a snack, go shopping, get something to drink, go do an attraction that doesn't have Genie Plus. I think I'm going to go enjoy some of the music of Africa for a little bit before I go. Festival of the Lion King, or as it's currently being offered, is a celebration of Festival of the Lion King, is not only my favorite thing in this park, it's my favorite thing in all of Walt Disney World. I love it so much. It's a live performance with acrobats and huge puppets and dancers and vocals, and they sing the beautiful music from the Lion King. This is probably the best show to use your Genie Plus at because it is incredibly popular and it will fill up very fast. So with the lightning lane, usually at the shows you don't have a reserved vendor seating, but you do have a reserved seat, as in you don't have to get here super duper early. So like I said, on a busy day, even on just a weekend day, this show is so popular, people usually recommend getting in line 30 or so minutes early. So this is probably one of the best Genie Plus attractions in this park, because you can stroll up. As long as you're on time, you stroll up just a few minutes beforehand and have a seat. Oh, I love it so much. that show. I love it so much. It's truly my favorite thing about Disney World. I was happy to have a lightning lane because I got to walk right in just a few minutes beforehand. I don't think you need lightning lane there, especially on a slow day like today. Just show up 15-20 minutes beforehand. On a busier day, it's more beneficial, but even still, if you show up probably 30 or so minutes beforehand, you should be able to see a show. And there's several throughout the day. The later the show, the less crowded it'll be. So that's a little tip. But oh my gosh, do you need to see the show? I cry every single time. The characters are amazing. The performers are amazing. Watch Simba, because Simba dances and sings along. It's amazing. It's the best. It's the best thing in Disney World. IMO. I feel the opposite of how I feel about Cali River Rapids about this show. Well, friends, we did every single Genie Plus and Fancy Ride Lightning Lane attraction in Disney's Hollywood Studios. I don't think it was a surprise that we did that. I don't think anyone is shocked that you can use all of the lightning lanes at this park. This park just doesn't have as many attractions that take lightning lane, and it's just not as crowded as parks like Magic Kingdom and Hollywood Studios most days. So in my opinion, I don't think you need to purchase the lightning lane access for Animal Kingdom unless, again, it's a very, very busy day. Of course, if you're park hopping after this to a park that like Magic Kingdom or Hollywood Studios and you've already purchased it or you've purchased it for your whole ticket, you can certainly take advantage of it. But if you're purchasing it day of, I don't think you need to purchase it for just this park alone. Let me know what other Genie questions you have down in the comments. Let me know your favorite thing in Animal Kingdom down in the comments. In the meantime, friends, make sure to rate, review, subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more Genie experiments. Follow us on social media at AllEars.net. And until next time, I'm Molly, and it's been magical.
Want to see more of my videos? Click over here. Want to subscribe? You can do that right here. And also, ring that notification bell to make sure you get instantly notified anytime we post a new video. Thanks for following. See you real soon.